on now, but I feel it still. Rebel just for kicks and feeling it since 1966 now. Be on now, but I feel it still. Rebel just for kicks and 1986 now. Be on now, but I feel it still. Oh, I feel it still. Yeah, just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. Ooh, ooh. So soft and white. Born to get together, born to get together. She could love. That time?
I get that. That's for the wireless pipes. So if you want wireless, you need that. Yeah, I took them out, but I don't want them to corrode in the microphone. Yeah, they're, that's green things. It does not matter, but, we want a wireless mic.
They asked the Spotify what you did, so I can listen to music.
Bruno Mars. Uplifting.
Well, I asked for uplifting community friendly music.
Smart.
Last thing I need is to be playing something in a tough bomb grounds.
Right.
You know I did this last time. One of these is a short one. One of these is a long one.
Yeah, yes, and for this one, I have those. This one says 10 feet. This one is. This plugs into a wall. Power it, and then you turn it on.
It'll work on these batteries because it's gonna take forever. It's gonna take 20 minutes to release this. Put my shoes back on.
Good call.
How are you doing? Life a little bit better now? Now that you don't have unruly neighbors? Although that house next door is not. You know what's gonna happen there yet? You gonna sell it?
They're gonna build a new home. When? No idea.
You figured this out faster than me. What did you do?
Just told.
Sometimes I can't even this whole. I'm always afraid I'm gonna break something.
It's always a.
That is like a real thing. I mean, I break a lot of things. Most of the time I'm like, oh, you gotta learn, you gotta break things to fix things, you know? Okay. What do you got? Just watch. Wait, this plugs into the wall.
Yeah, with this power to it.
I'm trying to learn how to do this and I am failing.
It's okay, it's pretty easy. This guy needs power, that's what this is. It goes in here. This is a speaker cable, this is the speaker cable. That's that. Now, that plugs into the front.
Now you gotta remember all of that.
You check back next month, I'm gonna be just in the same position.
You don't worry, it took me a minute to.
Where does that matter?
Um, Okay, and let's. Turn it on and then back. Mustard onion, okay.
It's gonna come in handy next year.
Yeah, kidding. Oh. One other thing that those guys need. The little antennae.
Dad Everett here last time helping me. Between the both of us, we kind of figured it out, even.
I heard it, I think I showed it late and it was fine.
That's because Everett did it.
Yeah. In any case, it worked out.
It worked.
You know, it's on chance.
6:10 PM.
We go.
We have plenty of time.
Now,
Now we test it. I'm gonna just keep talking. I could sing. Awful. I never would say that I'm a good one, but I can match a pitch sometimes.
one. This little wimpy one. I mean, any speaker cable will do it, but this.
So then you gotta plug that into that.
Yeah. So it's receiving power, and now this is the plug for. And then that comes into this thing, and this thing goes into this. And then this goes in that.
That's what we heard last time. Now that, what? Oh, that's on.
Okay,
Yep, I'm here. Not yet. I can keep talking. Man, DJ's got some good music. This is really loud. It feels loud. Is it loud? Is it really loud?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit loud. Sylvia wants to hear what's going on, but not right, like not like that.
is that good?
I think this is a little bit better.
Yeah.
Okay, good, thanks. Oh, do we need to check the other one? Solid waste should be here any minute.
Better turn this down. Let's stick the ones together. Check.
Yep, that's good. That'll be good if we want to do questions from the audience.
It's off right now.
Okay, well, that's fine though. That works for me.
You lost in that somewhere?
Is it just in the back?
I don't know, maybe. This one has it, this one has it, this one has it, just that one.
People with nine lemons are not expensive.
Yeah, it's just. Not so expensive.
So we're gonna have meetings next year.
We are working that out. So, there is a space behind Ironwood, like in the back. That can hold a lot of.
Ironwood.
Yeah, where Segundo Coffee is? At the corner of Grass and Mobley.
Oh, you're talking about Maxwell Housing
No, not quite. It's just on the other side of the tracks.
of the rail? Oh,
You've probably seen it, you just don't realize it.
no, oh, I know where it is now, yeah.
So that's one we're looking at. There's also Knights of Columbia, which is a telephone near Central Oakland.
Right, yeah.
So that one was one. We tried looking at the schools, but they would require a body law change. It would move the meeting date. So it could be one of those, but Knights of Columbia for, but Ironwood is just a community paper. We just want to make sure that we. Lots of different options, because if worse comes to worse, we do have a 911 service center, which is where they have their super neighborhood meetings, and then there's also. There's another one right for HCC people from the it has to get it without signing the box. It's good, it's not bad, but we'll go there, right?
Yeah.
That's because really.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if the weather is nice, if we have a couple days, of weather, then we could do something outside too. I'm talking like. April. Oh,
Yeah,
November.
yeah. When it's cooler.
When it's cool outside and people
Yeah.
can eat outside.
You like right now.
And I saw me. Nice to meet. Nice to meet you.
I was gonna say, I do have a presentation, if that would be better, or I have speaking points, so whatever you
If you
prefer.
wanna send me something, I can.
Yeah,
pull up.
I haven't, have it on my email if I could forward it to you, just cause for some of the route optimization, it's nice to see. The maps, I feel like it's a good reference, so
Perfect.
that works.
That works for me. Let me grab this.
And what's your email?
Williams Lindsay. There. 1, 2. Where? Sorry. Oh, thank you. So 1, 2, 3. Got you. Yep. Cool.
If you actually ever need something to plug into the computer audio, that's possible too.
Oh, that's fun.
Have a cord.
That would be fun one
Let
time.
me know if you-
We'll have to try that one time because it's fun to play music because people talk, you know? Otherwise, everybody sits in silence.
Yes.
You don't want that.
This thing also has Bluetooth, so if you wanted to not, if you wanted to connect to this instead of that in the future, you could do. You have to press the button. Here's the button for that.
We'll see what my Spotify says. See if it can find it.
It's called Eon.
If you want to leave them out here, I'll pass them out while you're talking. Oh, nice.
Did it send you?
Give me a sec.
My sure, it wasn't loading.
It may take a second. I usually give it a second to get through the interwebs. But
Hey,
I got it all ready to go.
it's all ready to go?
Yep.
Can you prove to me that the video was?
The videos?
Uh-oh.
We can check.
Again, oh, those are videos, but let me see, go back one, that's not one. Go click on one of those. So this is, it's a Chromebook? Is Apple
Some MacBook.
MacBook? You should be able to read PowerPoint just fine. Do you have, PowerPoint as software on here too?
Do not. I don't have any Microsoft Office material.
Oh,
Now, if you need to pull yours up, it's fine. You'll just need to log into the Zoom too.
I can do that. Yeah, so then if I log in.
Because then that way we can post it and share with others.
Yeah.
That's fine. And then you just plug in here. You are, but you're good.
Wrong time on? Didn't even ask you that last time.
You should be pretty good with like 20 minutes. I mean, we'll get through it. We always do. It's dying again. I thought I charged it just enough. Don't think it'll charge.
I can make a nice little speaker. This is just for the ambient music, right?
Yeah,
That's very nice.
because like it gets people to, talk. Although this song's been driving me crazy, so I'm not gonna listen to it. Hi, good, how are you?
See
Do you
you.
want to say hello?
You.
Okay, I might recognize you though.
Thank you, yeah. It's crazy with all the maps and.
I don't even want to get into that.
I-
That is
something's
just, no, I'm watching it and I'm like, lose Sylvia Garcia.
Yeah, if that happens. she's
A
gonna-
huge chunk of the East End would be
Yeah,
moved.
and that breaks down. If you could see.
You too. Isn't that fun? I had this playing at the super neighborhood too. Why is this not coming in? Hmm? No. Are you? No. No, I know. I'm just, maybe see if it's in your outbox, at least in your sent box, I should say.
And it's, did I spell it? I just want to make sure I did it right.
Oh.
Let me turn off. It could be my service.
Yeah, if it's looking for Wi-Fi and you don't have it in here, I can see why it would be like, whoop. And then
We played it.
you can thank the Spotify DJ. I ask it for uplifting community music.
Oh, it's saying that it is rejecting because of this thing.
Can you,
Share it, maybe? Do you have Microsoft 365?
no, but trying to think of another way to get it over. Do you have Microsoft 365? You said it, right?
I'm just trying to show a presentation.
There's no way.
Could I share it? Are you with the city?
No.
Oh, no. Oh, okay.
Used to be. But I can share.
But I wonder if I can share,
I
yeah.
wonder if I can give like a drive, like a Google Drive. Alright,
And it's okay if not, I just
no, I thought it'd be good.
be helpful, yeah.
We got 5 minutes. Hold on. Share. What is your email address?
Megan, MEAGAN dot RICHE
CHE
at HoustonTex.gov.
Perfect. Yep, we're gonna, yeah, you can just hang out up here. You're gonna be the first of the speakers. We gotta go through a couple things first.
Got someone else. Thank you.
Oh, thanks. Okay, see if you got that. I just made a little drive for you to drop it in.
So you know, you said we're coming out soon, but.
Just kidding.
Oh, it's fine. Once it's here, it's good.
I'll make sure there's space.
You know the Wi-Fi?
It should be just City of Houston or COH guest.
Oh, no. Hey, it's not that you didn't like it, it's not your.
Y'all good here? Oh, my button. I can't forget my new button.
So it's like it's really yellow.
It's all right. It works.
Yeah, I was trying to reveal Manila and. Oh, I didn't figure it out.
They did all day for it. They're cute. You made them?
I made it, yeah, Catherine got me all this stuff, yeah.
Oh. Two of us so far.
Yes.
Yeah.
Try to share real fast as my.
It's just not letting me.
Yeah, we guys play some for we. Huh? Where do you guys do like the next month?
Yeah, so when this moves over, we'll unmute you and then mute this one, so that way it'll show you with the presentation. Sorry, I'm talking to myself.
I'm not thinking, so I will speak through there, though.
I'm just muting this for the Zoom. You're gonna talk to the microphone.
Okay.
So that we just need to make sure that they can, that your voice is recorded with the screen.
Yeah. Should I'll just leave this as it is now.
Yeah. If it's something we can email out, then we'll just do that.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Well, sorry, but.
It's all right. It happens. We've dealt with much worse issues.
Is it okay to head out? Do you want me to hang around? I have business cards that I can leave.
If you want to leave business cards and I'll pass out
Okay.
oh, stuff, we're good.
In, or in.
I did, the calendar myself, I should still like. It's
fine.
because you were reading that something. And I put it, because I was putting it on social media and other ones. What do you see your hair? It looks so different.
Looks good.
I watched it in the middle of the day rather than in the morning. I don't know.
It's working.
See how many people are still outside. All right, everybody, we are gonna go ahead and get started because y'all know me, we got a packed agenda tonight. So my intention today is for everybody to feel informed and heard and empowered after leaving today's meeting. So with that said, I call this meeting to order. So thank you very much for coming. And also let me know if I'm too loud. Okay, because I feel really, really loud, but Sylvia said it's not too loud. So if she says it, we're good. All right, so we have quite a bit to cover today. We have an elected officials update. We're going to hear from a couple candidates. We have our treasurer and secretary report. We have a keynote speakers, which is Landtrip PTO, Houston Solid Waste, and Ian Lavacek is going to give a presentation on Telephone Road, the updated project, committee updates, community updates, and then announcements from there. So I see a lot of new faces, which is very exciting. I'm not going to make you talk, but if you could raise your hand, if you're new, this is your first time here. Oh, lovely. Thank you so much. I really hope that you find our meetings so inspiring and informative that you come back again. I promise that you're never going to be disappointed. That's a big promise, I just realized. All right. Sorry. Okay. Also, let me just make sure I'm sharing on Zoom too, because I needed to make sure. Oh yeah, I am. Okay, perfect. So we don't see District I here yet. Sometimes they do pop in, but we do just want to say hello to Frank Gonzalez from Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia's office. So if you have any questions about some of the happenings, you can always stick around and talk to Frank. Are there any other elected officials that I don't see any others, just want to call it out. All right, we'll announce them if they come in. We do have a few candidates that we wanted to say hello to. Mayor Parker, did you want to come say hello? There you go.
My name is Denise Parker, and I'm running for Harris County Judge in the Democratic Party next year. Appreciate the opportunity to be here. I'm not here to make a speech. I'm here to listen, but I've really spent a lot of time in this building. And I started my career in politics as a civic club president of the American Association. So I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have another candidate coming for council. Sure.
I'm Joe Von Tyler, and I am a candidate for Houston City Council at large position 5, which is currently being held by Sally Alcorn, who is term limited. That election is in 2027, And so one may be asking themselves, why would a candidate in 2025 be running for a seat so far out? Well, it's simple for me. Houston is in crisis. Homelessness is rising all around us. We have massive infrastructure issues. Citizens feel a disconnect from their leaders in terms of issues that matter most to them. We live in an era here locally and even nationally where leaders are telling us how we should live, who we should be, what we should expect, rather than the opposite, us as citizens telling them what we expect from them. We the people. And so I'm running as a candidate, fully focused and fully understanding and remembering that. We also have a situation within our city where we have an out of control city budget. We have a situation in our city where, for whatever reason, whether it's political connections or the World Cup, where a couple of neighborhoods were chosen, and homeless people were told that they can't, that it's against the law for them to be in those neighborhoods. Shifting that to other neighborhoods, not necessarily solving a problem, but just shifting the problem to our neighbors. And so I think that there's a vacuum of leadership in our city government. And I'm a leader. I have a proven history of stepping into the trenches where leadership has been needed. I think that now is the time for leaders in our city. And I think that we elect the leaders that we deserve within our city. And so as the campaign heads toward November of 27, you will hear from me quite a lot. But much like my mother, Elise Parker, I'm here to listen, and I'm here to learn, and I'm here to connect with folks on the issues that they feel passionately are important here in this civic club. So thank you for your time.
My only question, if you don't mind. If you could just give a really quick thumbs up, thumbs down, if we were to hold a candidate forum for our city council next year, would you be willing to participate? All right, perfect. That's what I want to hear. Y'all remember that was really fun last time. All right, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and go through our treasurer's report with Polani, and then we'll move over to Everett for our meeting minutes.
Nice crowd today. Thank you so much for everyone being here. Our current treasury report is $24,035.56. Nothing majorly changing. We did pay our storage, and we had a withdrawal of $15 for Canva, and interest of $3.73. Woo! Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, we're gonna go on over. We're moving right along to our secretary's report.
Oh, yes. Right, good evening, everyone. So to talk about what we did last time, we met here in June 2025. So we got updates and info from the 10 o'clock from precinct 6, as well as from District I. We had Chris Minefe, Harris County Attorney. He come talk to us about his role and responsibilities. We also had committee updates from our association, as well as our secretary and treasurer's report. And then we had a question from a neighbor. I think that's like I wanted to share real quick. We had one of our neighbors reached out to us, and they were asking about what is the maximum height for a residential building in Eastwood. So according to the city of Houston, the height is restricted to 35 feet. And that's measured from the average elevation of the natural grade at the building's corners to the roof line. As far as like in general, that will be for the city of Houston. However, we do have some historic neighborhoods, just like the Heights, where they might have some big restrictions that limit that height, or they might have certain ways to measure it, right? As far as the deed restricted area of Eastwood, we do not have a maximum height for residences. Nonetheless, the best way to verify that, so in case you wanna buy a new property, right? Or you're trying to build a house, or you wanna have a second floor in your house. Then the best way to verify this is by requesting a building letter from the title company you or the property owner work with. So this letter usually comes with a packet that you guys receive whenever you buy a property. It should say that the maximum height, in case there's some restriction. Otherwise, usually you don't want to go past 35 feet. Also, the city of Houston will probably, as you're going through the process of building the residence, they will come and check that too. Okay, that's it. Yes. Oh, also, yes, feel free to sign up in any of the committees. I know that you also need some help. With, yes.
I need a new board member for quick.
Yeah, oh, yeah, so there you go, if you're glad, yeah. It's coming up, so you might wanna sign up to that one, okay? Definitely we do need the help, and then also definitely wanna become a block captain, like, we even had some block captains like not so long ago joining us, which was great. We appreciate that, but feel free to join us, we're also looking, especially in that east part of our neighborhood by the west, east belt, right? That's the area, we definitely need some neighbors to come join us, so whether it's you or someone you know, we're free, be great for you to join us, okay? Any questions? All right, thank you very much.
Okay, so I do need a motion to approve the meeting minutes from June 2025. Is there a second? All right, so the motion is to approve the minutes for June 2025. Is there all in favor? Any opposed? All right, perfect. Motion passes. Great. I need a gavel. There we go. All right, so we do have a few keynote speakers that we want to share with. We do have Mark and Lauren from Landtrip PTO. We're going to start with them. Then we'll move to City of Houston, and then we'll hear from our resident Ian about telephone node. Come on up. Have fun.
Absolutely. Hello, can you hear me okay? Perfect. Well, thanks so much for having us. I am Mark Garcia-Pratt, so I'm the VP of the Landtrip PTO. So long 15 years in the East End, former educator in the East End, co-founder of Small Places and Finca de las Robles in the East End. So longtime East End resident and very engaged here. And I have three kids, but two are at Landtrip, and we've been in that community for 2 years. So that's who I am.
Hi, I'm Lauren Zentz. This is Maya and Gabby, and we both go to Landtrip. They will be joined by their younger brother in pre-K this year. I'm the newly elected PTO president at Landtrip. We've been in Midtown and in the East End for the past about 10 or 12 years. I work at UH, professor there. Yeah, and thanks for having us this evening. Mark's gonna tell you the rest.
Awesome. So I would say Landtrip, since we've been at Landtrip for the last 2 years, has been through quite a lot of challenges, I would say, and largely takeover related challenges. And so this kind of upcoming year, we have a brand new PTO, and the last few years, the PTO has kind of fizzled out. And so as the new PTO board has stepped in, we're kind of really looking forward, looking to establish and kind of create some stability at Landtrip Elementary. And so kind of the new board has come in, and we've got a group of really dedicated parents there. And so one of our goals for the year is, to establish obviously the PTO. So going slow to go fast. So getting established, the basics of a PTO, fundraising, all the administrative things. So getting that established is really a big goal for our PTO this year. And then a second goal is really, community engagement. And so that's one reason why we're here. Landtrip Elementary is over 100 years old. It has been a stalwart in this community for a long time. And so we kind of want to reestablish Landtrip Elementary within the community and some pride within that. And so, the Civic Association here, we think there's just a natural partnership between Landtrip PTO and the work that Eastwood Civic Association does. So the goal of tonight is really just to introduce ourselves, kind of introduce the PTO. We are looking to be engaged, active, and so communicating with the Civic Association. So I wanted to make sure there was some faces with the names and emails and, when volunteer events come out. So that's one thing. And then Second thing, or a third thing, a big goal for a year is also kind of a beautification of the grounds at Lantrip Elementary. Lantrip Elementary is a magnet school and it's an environmental science magnet school. And so it has this incredible grounds and it has an incredible garden that has slowly over the last few years kind of, again, fizzled. It's a bit overgrown. The grounds need a lot of work, you know, and so one of our goals for the year is really to kind of rebuild the grounds, make it something that is beautiful when kids show up, something they're proud of. When they enter the school, they're inspired by. And so that's a big initiative for the year. And then also to kind of rebuild the environmental science program. And that includes maintaining garden, taking care of it. There's a beautiful pond there and the pumps are broken, right? So kind of reestablishing the pump so that there's koi fish and different kind of ecosystems for the students to learn and kind of embrace and be proud of the environmental science program there. So that's kind of another big initiative. And so, throughout the year, that'll be something we'll be reaching out, to the Eastwood Civic Association and just looking for support in those, whether that's volunteers, fundraisers for plants and kind of building out some of the grounds. And so, yeah, that was mostly it.
Cool.
Oh, yes.
Years ago, the Lantrip Park playground used to be a smart park. Is there any desire, because that's obviously a very big community partnership?
Yep.
And a couple years ago, I spoke with one of the previous principals about it, but I know they weren't interested at the time. Do you think there's potential interest now in part of it?
Absolutely. I mean, we've talked a lot about that from the board. For us, that's kind of like one step away, but definitely tons of interest. I mean, it's in the center of that really great neighborhood and, Eastwood Park is like there, but it's still like a little further, right? So the access to just walk, bike quickly there, we'd love that. There are some like logistical challenges with that, from like a school access is my understanding, because it's like once you get in the grounds, you kind of can access like tons of the space. So, we would be interested in that. There would have to be some planning and some fundraising, I think some fence here, et cetera, to kind of build that program out. We've talked about it and we've kind of put that as kind of like after we get established a little bit, but there's a lot of interest in the Spark Park.
Yep.
Is there any possibility for like student volunteers and helping revitalize the grounds? Like we were saying, with the fish, that's a very interesting opportunity for the students at Eastwood to have like service hours.
That's like a huge 100% yes. So, we call them Sparkle Days, and so we're kind of getting some of those on the calendar. And basically, those are just like volunteer days, where we're getting set up with a tool bank, so we can just have like tools, snacks, waters, and some project leads to really kind of knock some projects out. So I would love to connect and, the more hands, the better. Absolutely.
Yeah, and we have a history of working with Eastwood High School too, to have volunteers in the school for different events and stuff like that. So yeah, these Sparkle Saturdays that we're working to kind of revitalize / keep going would be another great opportunity because we need a lot of help.
Are there any other questions? Cool. Well, thank you very much. Keep in touch on anything that you need. If we need to build a little volunteer base for you, we
Awesome.
certainly
And I'll
can do that.
share a contact with you. So
Yeah.
Perfect,
share
perfect.
that too.
Thank you so much. All right, next up, we have Megan from Solid Waste. I'm gonna pass these out for you.
Can I say with my papers?
Yes.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Megan. I'm from City of Houston Solid Waste Management. Thank you so much for having me here tonight. I am so excited to be here to provide some important updates. I love learning about the PTO. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with the reuse warehouse, but we have materials that you could potentially use for the garden. So I'll definitely give you my card and we can be in touch about that. But I'm here tonight to share some of our updates. As I'm sure you all have heard, we have a new director as of last week. So we're going through a variety of changes and reform within the department. So I did have a presentation, it's not working, so you'll just have to listen to me and I'm sorry. So just to give some quick context about our department, we serve more than 400,000 homes across the city of Houston. Our performance directly affects quality of life for all Houstonians. And we're focused on restoring trust throughout consistent and visible improvement. So I wanted to give you a quick update on the state of current services that we're at today. So some steps to create better transparency within the department is we're posting website updates every Monday, so you can see where we're at for each of our service lines. We're also sending this information over to 311, so if you have an open case and want to get more information, they should have access to that. So as of today, recycling is running 3 to 5 days behind schedule. Our garbage collection is on time. Our heavy trash collection is also on time. That did start on August 1st, so what's today, the 4th? So right now we're on time. And then yard waste services are still delayed, and that's actually being collected with heavy trash right now. So that, again, you can find that on our website every single Monday. If you have the HTX Collects apps, it's also posted on there. So you can see that as a continued new thing that we're doing every single week. So I wanted to touch base quickly on some of our administration improvement and reforms. Like I said, we've made a lot of leadership changes over the past few months. We've done a number of audits to find efficiencies within our operations. We have started to rebalance some of our routes that eases the pressure of some of our overburdened areas. And then we also created a fleet coordination team, which just essentially is someone overseeing the maintenance and all the operation of our trucks, which I'm jumping to next. We actually just got 12.5 million approved by city council last week. So we're getting in 25 new side loaders, and they're expected to come in within 60 days. So that's super exciting. We're hoping that this will alleviate some of the burden. We have drivers ready to go. We just have a lot of trucks out right now. So we're really excited about that. We're currently working on redesigning our trash and recycling routes for better balance. We're working on utilizing the software that we do have to help with this route rebalance. We're working with haulers to expand disposal sites. Recycling routes are currently being right-sized. So under new leadership, they found out that we actually had a lot of homes on one route a day that there is no way that one driver, even without any truck issues, could complete. So we've right-sized all of those routes to industry standards. And then in addition to the 12.5 million that was approved, we do have new trucks that are being delivered as early as October. So we should see a big improvement on our fleet, which then will trickle down to, better service. So one thing we are really taking a look at is our recycling routes. As you can see, this is consistently where we have delays every single week. So this is where the presentation would have been super helpful, but currently our routes have not been updated since we started the recycling service. So that means trucks on one route are often driving across the whole city in one day. So, and we have one drop-off facility. So that means, you know how big Houston is. This really causes, inefficiency. So we're really working to change those efficiencies, but with that does come service day changes. So we still, that's a lot of groundwork, a lot of communication for residents to know about what day, service changes. So there is a lot of groundwork and thought being put into that, but that is one thing that we are exploring as well. And then our new routes, our proposed route balance would have 1,100 homes each, which is the industry standard. And the goal is, of course, to have efficient coverage, reduce delays, and have long-term reliability. So a few things that, just to sum this all up of what we've taken so far in the past few months, we've improved our customer service. We have a few new staff members that are solely dedicated to addressing the 311 SRs. Like I said, optimizing routes. We are strengthening our container team to speed up the delivery of carts to residents. And then, like I mentioned, that we're looking to right-size our fleet. So the goal is both short-term recovery and long-term stability. I know it has been rough these past few years, but we know that it hasn't met your expectations a lot of the time, and we're really working hard to make these changes. I'm super excited to provide these updates. We'll continue coming to these community meetings, and I'm excited to share, as these things progress, excited to share with you all.
So really quick, I'm gonna allow for questions for just a second, but what I have up here is, this is online. This is just trash facts that Solid Waste gave to us at one point. It's super helpful because I think that there's a lot of common misconceptions about what you can actually put on your curb. And y'all see me ride my bike around making 311 reports. I know y'all see me doing it. And I'll tell you, you can't mix things like tree waste and regular waste and junk waste, like you're actually supposed to split them up. And also something that I didn't know that was super helpful is you can't go over 8 cubic yards. And you're probably looking at me going, oh my gosh, what does that even mean? It's basically 2 pickup trucks worth. So you can imagine when you're going around there and you see people with literally 12 feet tall worth of tree waste, that's not really supposed to be picked up. That's not really what the program is about. So I'm gonna kind of scroll through this. If you want to take pictures, go ahead. We can also send it out, so don't worry if you don't get it. But just wanted to at least share this so that people can see this information that's available.
And I will say what we passed out, we need to update this because I think it has some old information, but this is our neighborhood depository list. And if, again, I know it's not ideal, but if you have a bunch of tree waste, a bunch of yard waste or junk waste, you can drop it off for free at one of our neighborhood depository locations. So just another additional option. Oh, any questions? Yes.
Okay, I have a couple.
Okay.
So, we get regular trash pickups at Black Can every Monday,
Yes.
at least in this neighborhood, it's Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Every other week we get recycling,
Mm-hmm.
and, once a month, we get either heavy trash or tree limbs, is that correct?
So it depends, even months or junk waste, odd months or tree waste.
Okay,
Yes.
that was my understanding, is it all, I have also heard, conflicting information that
I talked to you about this.
tree waste is every single month, no matter what, that's not true.
No, yard waste is, but currently because of the delays, yard waste is being picked up with junk waste right now. Now, if you want to recycle the yard waste, it is an option to go to a neighborhood depository. But yeah, no, it is odd month tree waste, even month junk waste.
Okay.
Yeah.
That leads to a follow-up question.
Yes.
What is the difference between tree waste? I think I know, but
Yes.
perhaps you could elucidate us.
Yeah.
And yard waste.
So yard waste can be put in a compostable bag or a reusable bin. Tree waste, it has a larger proximity that we can pick up, and typically we're picking them both up with the same trucks, but they have a different service day. And then, like I said, it's usually typically bigger limbs, things like that.
It's like when you're taking down a whole tree.
Yeah.
Versus just a few branches.
Yeah.
So yard waste is how often, every month or every week?
Well, we said it was every week, but what we're coming to find out is that it was really being picked up with tree waste. So right now it's being picked up with the yard waste, with the junk waste this month for even month. So if you want to recycle it, I would bring it to a neighborhood depository.
Okay. That was my logistics question.
Yes.
My political question is.
Yes.
We just got 12 million bucks for trucks.
Mhm.
That's a good thing.
Yes.
2021, we had a bond election and this, we approved like $250 million for public safety. And then the solid waste people got like 8 million bucks, like almost nothing. And why did we need a bond election for that? And then we could just get 12 million bucks through city council for this?
Yeah.
How is that different?
That, I'm sorry, I can't speak to.
Okay. Who could I ask that to? Because I've been wondering that for a long time.
I speak to our council member.
Yeah, I would say the council member. That would be good.
So Ian and then Tina.
I just wanted to clarify, Kyle had asked
Uh-huh.
about we're saying if you want to get something recycled by a certain month, you'll take it to the repository. Does that mean if you leave it out, it'll just be going to the junk waste? I guess it's the yard waste.
So as of right now, until we can right size the department, get our new trucks in, yard waste is being collected with junk waste for this month. Now, when we switch over to next month and it's tree waste, it will get picked up with tree waste as well.
So when it gets picked up with junk waste, it's all one of that.
Unfortunately, yes. Yep.
Yep, Tina.
So, I'm gonna wait for the odd month then to put out my yard waste, but my question is this. I've got like an extra black bin, because it just kind of came to the house.
Uh-huh.
Can I put my yard waste in that big black bin on the yard waste day? This month, I think August 6th is our junk waste day, so.
Yes,
And,
you can, but I would clearly mark on it for yard waste pickup.
okay,
Yes.
I'll do that then, because it's so much handier for me to stick it all in one of those big black bins.
Absolutely.
When I have a lot of it, like I try to have it in or something like that.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, I would just clearly mark that it's for yard waste, so they don't I mean, I don't think they would, they only pick up the ones
Why
we
not?
cook, but just in case, yes,
Thank you.
yeah, no
Any
problem.
other questions?
Yes.
Just to clarify, because I think a few months ago when there was something like we were, wondering like, what's the reason behind the limit? And there was some news that perhaps the city had decided to stop, pickup of waste, of heavy waste, heavy trash. And, was that the case?
No, that wasn't the case. We are exploring, as I'm sure you've heard in city council, put some potential on pilot demand programs just to see, but no, the services are still running and they never stopped. Yep. Yeah, yes, still do.
Mhm. I just want to say, so there's also a little bit of conflicting information, and I will take ownership of that because I received an email saying that heavy waste will not be picked up anymore. I got confirmation from somebody about that, and so I sent everything out to try to make sure everybody knew, and then we found out that was not the case. So heavy waste will be picked up, but I just wanted to make sure that y'all knew that. We're trying to make sure we write that and make sure everybody has that information correct. Any other questions? Clay.
This is not a question, but something you may want to mention that I find really helpful is the HTX Collects app.
Yes.
Because it will send you a reminder, tomorrow's heavy trash, tomorrow's junk waste.
Absolutely.
About the waste.
And you can also put in your address and see what closest recycling center or neighborhood depository is close to you. And then also if you have questions about what you can throw away or what can be recycled, you can also utilize that, the app for that as well. So thank you, appreciate it. The QR code for the app is on the neighborhood depository flyer as well, so.
What did you say that?
It's called HTX Collects.
It's on the bottom.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much, I really appreciate it.
Cool. We look forward to hearing from you again soon. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and switch some gears here. We're gonna let Ian come on up. I don't know if you wanna bring your computer up here. We'll figure this out. We got this. Also, I have Megan's cards if y'all need that. I can walk around and hand those out if y'all want.
That work, right?
You should be able to share.
Do I need to stop sharing?
No, I'm sharing. Hang on. There it is. Ooh.
Good. Hello?
Well, the speaker's kind of in the way. I don't know if it's.
Oh, okay. Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Ian Lavacek. Tonight, I am coming to talk to you about a little bit of the concerns I have about Telephone Road. I am, of course, tonight in a dual role. I'm first and foremost a resident of Eastwood, and I've lived here for a long time. And so I have personal opinions about this, but I also have 17 years of roadway safety design experience, going back 7 years with consulting, and then 10 years working at Houston Public Works, solving roadway challenges. And so I'm no longer at the city. I resigned last month, partially so I could come and speak openly about some of my concerns about some of the projects in the state road. So tonight I shared some of my concerns with Lindsay, and she had asked that we present to a bigger audience. Some of y'all were at the super neighborhood meeting a couple of weeks ago where I did one version of this. This is I've updated a little bit, but for those of y'all who are new, this will all be new. Do I have this wording? Is there any way to dim the lights up here? Some of this might be kind of hard to see.
Dark.
Well, don't worry about it then. So the part of Telephone Road we're talking about is there's Telephone Road is long. It goes really far, right? You can drive it to other counties, et cetera, et cetera. But right now, we're just talking about this one little section that's right outside of where we are right now, from Lockwood down to Lawndale. And so there's other parts of Telephone that have other projects along them, but right now, this is the one that's kind of first and foremost. It's a project being led by TERS 23, which is the Harrisburg Redevelopment Authority. I mention that only to say that this is the organization that has the construction abilities for it. They're essentially for tonight's purposes, they're a kind of a subsidiary of the city. Just think about it that way. There's way more to it, but they are basically working to bring development opportunities to a wide area. Their map is a little weird, but it allows them to kind of to touch a lot of our major corridors in the area. So the existing telephone right now, these are pictures I took today when I went just to go take a look at some things and get some lunch at Tojitos Salvadoreños, which was fantastic. It's a wide street. It's got 5 lanes. It's got a center turn lane. It's got awful sidewalks. It's got people driving along it. It's got people walking along it. We have Austin High School, Eastwood Academy, tons of students who walk along telephone and across telephone. You have people who walk along here, bike along here, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it doesn't really serve anybody very well right now. And so I think everybody sees an opportunity for making this street better. And so I think it bubbled to the top for a lot of good reasons. I was here a couple of years ago when the tourists came and presented about their plans at that time. This is what they presented at the time. It was a dramatic rethinking of the corridor. It would have transitioned it from 5 lanes to 3 lanes, but again, retaining that center turn lane. It would have introduced more space for street trees, dedicated bikeways and sidewalks. More recently, they received direction from the city to implement a modified design. And there's a lot of changes here. There's a lot to still like about it, but there's some nuance here that I want to talk about. So what they show is no longer dedicated bikeways, but they do have a wide sidewalk on one side, kind of a shared use area. They did show street trees along here, but it would be 4 lanes of traffic without any kind of division between them. So let me talk about that a little bit. All right, so my concerns that I want to talk about tonight is kind of 3 big categories. The first biggest one are the safety concerns. That comes first and foremost. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on that because it's hard to see exactly what the safety is going to be, except there's certain elements in here that I spent the last 10 years of my life trying to fix on other streets like this all around the city. So I'll kind of go into a little bit of why I have concerns about this and why I think there's some other alternatives we should consider. We have tree concerns and I've got fairness concerns. So let's get through all of that. Safety concerns come into 2 buckets. Basically, the one category of that kind of street, which is 4 lanes of an undivided roadway. And it's what that means. We also have this sharp curve in the roadway that everybody knows about, and that has some specific safety concerns on this corridor. I want to talk about this cross section a little bit. In my 10 years working with the city, taking hundreds and hundreds of 301 requests, that is the cross section that people around the city have the most problem with. They have the highest crash rates. They have very poor traffic operations. They are impossible for pedestrians. And I'm going to show you why. It's bad for everybody. There's nothing good about this kind of cross section. First, we have 4 categories of dangerous for drivers. Drivers get killed on these roadways all the time. These kinds of roads lead to one of our highest death rates in the city compared to other cities. Because speeds are high. Let me just go through this. On this example, you have so much wide open space that it feels so open that people will frequently go 5 to 10 miles an hour above the speed limit. Now, one of our examples right here in the neighborhood is actually Telephone Road, the next segment down close to Pick Academy, where it's just like this, and I would challenge you to go the speed limit, because whenever I go the speed limit, people fly around me left and right. Hopefully, usually to the right or left, depending on where I am. They're high speeds. Second of all, to make any turns for a 4-lane undivided roadway, you have to do it from within the lane of traffic. Which means that if I'm turning on a street with a lot of driveways or other roadways, I have to stop to make my turn. People behind me have to throw on their brakes. Or they have to swerve out of the way at the last minute, perhaps having a side swipe with the person next to them. So the fact that you have to take left turns from a moving lane of traffic does not work. It results in rear collisions, it results in side swipes. And most concerning on here is that there's no division. If you're going 40 miles an hour in one direction and 40 in another, you have a couple of inches of yellow paint separating you. And on roads where you have curves like this, it becomes really concerning. I'd like to share this image because nothing represents what we see over here more than this kind of street, where a pedestrian only can cross safely where it is designated for them. Do not try to cross anywhere else, because if you're a pedestrian trying to cross, you have to look left and find a gap in traffic coming in 2 lanes this way. At the same time, you find a gap in the 2 lanes coming this way. It becomes so hard to cross these kinds of streets that you have to provide some other kind of special measures to get across. That's the only way to do it. And so this is where we start talking about signals and hot beacons and that kind of thing, because our roadways look like this. And I asked you, is this what we want in a neighborhood? And the last of it is that it's poor for vehicle operations. These are roads, you know, you can go to this example again where, okay, there's an opportunity for a rear end collision, but each direction on this street, this is Yale, and it's like this every day during peak hour. You only have effectively 2 lanes of traffic because the middle 2 get blocked by left turning vehicles. And the fact that you have all of these lanes with the swerving kind of techniques, this is clearly not the same kind of roadway, but you can kind of start seeing swerving of vehicles, having to throw on their brakes because people dart out from other cars, get in front of them. It slows everything down. And one of the most egregious, we have to deal with this a little bit in Eastwood already, where if you don't have a left turn lane and a signal, and you have to wait behind the person making a left turn, and you just want to go through, that can delay you so much. And we have this, it's not exactly the same at Dumble, at Polk in Poland. I don't know how many times I've been there, through there, and there's not a lot of traffic, but the person in front of you wants to make a left turn, and I'm just waiting behind them. Whereas if you had a dedicated left turn lane, that person gets out of the way, you can go through. The most frustrating thing about all of this is that they're not safe and they're more dangerous. This is the same, it's the same on the low traffic volume side. So when there's not a lot of cars, the speeds tend to go up. So you still tend to have higher speeds. When there's a ton of cars, like on Yale Street, then traffic locks up when you most need the lanes. So these roads don't work even if you have zero traffic or very low traffic, or if you have the point where you think you actually need 4 lanes. They don't give you 4 lanes. So they're the worst at the extremes. And especially when you have lots of driveways and side streets, like we do on Telephone, that is a wide open street with driveways all over. And so you can expect to see this night and day. And so this is so well documented across the United States that no municipality runs it. Nobody does this. This is 40 to 50 years ago roadway designs. Everybody designs, just ignore the bike lanes even. We're not even talking about bikes here. We're talking about introducing that middle turn lane. So much that the federal government says to compare one to the other is a reduction of 19 to 47% of crashes wherever you do it, in Texas, in Seattle, in New York. I mean, this is international. And more locally, TxDOT agrees with us too. This is our state transportation agency, where they look at all the crashes on roadways throughout the state. And if you go down this chart, it's a lot here, but we're urban, right? And there's 4 more lanes undivided. And that is the highest number on this chart because TxDOT knows these roads kill. Furthermore, TxDOT has a highway safety improvement program where they use federal money to solve problems. One of their codes to solve crashes on roadways is installing a continuous left turn lane, exactly what we're talking about here. So much that they say, you do one of these, they'll give you credit for a 50% crash reduction. TxDOT is so convinced that center turn lanes are that important. We sometimes joke about this being kind of a suicide lane. It's anything but a suicide lane. In an urban area where people are driving more slowly, this saves lives. And then thinking more specifically, we have a very, very serious problem on Telephone that is beyond the typical roadway cross section. That road, the road curve at Stimson is a concern that doesn't exist right now. I'll explain why, but when we do this, it's going to result in head-on collisions. Because right now, when people are coming around that curve, we've got 11 feet of a center turn lane dividing the oncoming traffic. If there's a little bit of a mistake, you got a big old leeway where, okay, I was on my phone, made a culpa, and it crashed and died. But if you make a mistake with only a couple of inches of yellow paint, that's the end of your life. And I will go out of my way to say, as a professional civil engineer, I expect this type of crash to happen, even though it does not happen right now. Because the roadway design right now does not lead to this kind of crash. The most frustrating part about this is that if we shrunk this road, we could use our right of way to fix that curve. We could actually use the space on the side of the road to flatten out the curve. And so you don't have that problem at all. You also have a center turn lane in addition. So a little bit less pavement gives us some very specific benefits here. That's safety. The rest of this will be a little bit shorter. I do have a concern about the tree coverage because here is some information I got from Minnesota about what different kinds of trees need. For the smallest kind of tree to grow in that narrow patch between the road and the sidewalk, you need about 4 feet. This gets the trees to be healthy. It also makes sure they don't destroy your sidewalks and roadway. And I know we've all seen that where our beloved trees also have some of the worst sidewalks in town and some of the worst paving conditions in town. That's because we try to plant really good trees that space less than that. But count on 4 feet being the absolute minimum for a healthy tree. If you want anything that actually does more to provide shade, you need at least 6 feet. And if you really want the big trees like live oaks, you're looking at 8 to 10 plus feet. And we're not going to get that on most strips between a sidewalk and a road. But if we want shade, and in Houston, I think we all want shade, we should be shooting probably 6 feet between, at least 4 feet. And what we're currently looking at here is 4.5 on one side, which is basically that bare minimum for a small tree, 3.5 on the other, which probably not, you're probably not gonna have anything to grow there. But there's more here too. This is a little deceiving because this is not how the street looks in all the places. If you were very eagle-eyed as I was going through this, you actually saw 3 numbers. One cross section says we have 72 feet of space. Another cross section says 66 feet of space. Another one says 70. So which one's right? The fact is they all are. They're all right because this road varies so much. I did a quick look to see, okay, this is just a very high level look at that. Where do these cross sections change? And there's more nuance than this, but just looking at it, we've got some wide space by the fire station. But in front of Bohemia's and Tlaquepaque Market, it gets quite a bit narrower. Then we have something intermediary, and then a mix of wide and narrow and everything in between. What that means is if we just take a look at this one segment here, look in front of Tlaquepaque, that's what it looks like right now. It's not a beautiful street. That's what the original plan would have looked like from 2023. It definitely would have reimagined the corridor, would have given it some more street trees. But parts of this are only that 66 to 67 feet. So when you add that other lane, there's not enough space for trees on the segment. What you'll have are narrow strips of grass on either side of the sidewalk that are constantly dying, constantly having to weed. And imagine all these people. I don't think we'll have this many people walking along here. And I would say this is probably one of the most ripe parts of this corridor for walkability. What I'd like to propose is, I think the original plan is still a good one. If we wanted to find something in the medium, I think we could provide wider lanes here. We could do it, still maintaining that 3-lane section, and then we could get up to getting 6 feet on either side. And then 3 feet on the back, 4 feet on the back, you might be able to do plans on the back. But this is the tightest segment of this corridor. And if we do this, we can get continuous tree coverage from Lockwood all the way to Lawndale. Still work out the opportunity to smooth out the curve and just have a nicer street for everybody. And then following that up with fairness. I wanted to look at a couple of other streets in Houston, because we've got some really beautiful ones in Houston. One of my favorites, of course, is Bissonnet, kind of southwest, kind of the museum district from Shepherd to Montrose. It's got 2 lanes of traffic. It's got beautiful trees. It's got a traffic value in the middle, about 11,000. Studentwood in the Heights. It's got 2 lanes and a center turn lane. It's that very same cross section. Again, beautiful trees because there's space for them in the Heights, and there's space in Montrose too, in Alabama, where you got 2 lanes and a center turn lane, the very same cross section. You've got space for trees in these neighborhoods. So my question is, doesn't the East End deserve the same kind of streets as the Heights, as Southampton, and as Montrose? Don't we deserve streets that have trees? There's always concern about, are we building a road big enough for the future? What I would promise you is that the city will never widen any of these streets, because these are all very politically connected neighborhoods. They will never take out these trees. So what I would argue is, why can't we have a street that has trees too? And one more point, I've kind of buried the lead here. If you're looking at the actual traffic volumes on these particular streets, telephone comes dead last. Out of all of these streets, if you ever had to make an argument that you should widen one of them, it would be Studentwood, it'd be Bissonnet, it wouldn't be Telephone. So how many lanes do you think that amount of traffic needs, really? And this is my last kind of effort. I really love going to New Orleans. We were just there a couple of weeks ago. And New Orleans has some of my favorite streets in all the country. And it's a community, it's a city that is very much like ours. It's got a lot of the same cultural elements. It's got the same humidity and the heat too. And I think everybody who goes to New Orleans, who all has been to New Orleans at some point in the past. A lot of people, and anybody who hasn't been, highly recommend it. You can probably all think of some street that you love, whether it's Bourbon Street because you want to go crazy, St. Charles Streetcar Line, take your pick. They're all wonderful. My favorite is actually Magazine Street in the Garden District, because this street runs for miles, and I haven't checked it, but I would think that this street probably has the highest level of economic activity of any street in the southern United States, because it's always vibrant. There are you take your pick of Whole Foods or small mom and pop shops, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what its traffic volume is? 21,000. That's nearly 3 times the volume of telephone. And what I would say is, if we widened Magazine to look like we're going to build a telephone, do you think it would have the same economic vibrancy? I'll leave it to you. So the thing to end on is that the TERS is trying to do the right thing. And they need to do it from the community. They want to do a good project. They started with a good project. And there was a redirection. And I think it was done with the best intentions too. I think it was a redirection not based on local knowledge or traffic engineering expertise. And I think there's still time to get everybody to come together and do something better for the East End. And so what we have, our council members need to hear from everybody and say, hey, I've come up with a couple options. There's a lot more that we could do. I mean, this is not the sum total of what telephone can look like. But I think that the best roadway projects that exist are the ones that get local input. Because we're the ones, y'all are the ones, we're the ones who are going to live with this for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Shouldn't we have a say in this? So what we're doing, please contact council member, please contact the TERS at their email. And I've been working with Lindsay to put together a survey too, so you get on your phone and you zoom into that barcode, it should take you to a Google form where you can give Lindsay and the Civic Association your feedback on what we presented here today. And I think that's all I got, Lindsay.
So I just want to share a couple of notes. So the TERS was going to vote to move forward with this design, and that's just something that the city had asked for. The TERS has voted last week to hold until there is community engagement. So when that date time is announced, we'll make sure everybody knows so that we can actually have that time for the community just to share that feedback officially with the TERS. With that, are there any, I see lots of, oh, did you want to say something? Come on. We have the infamous Bo Fraga here. Famous.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bo Fraga. I'm the chair of TERS 23, and thank you, Ian, for your points. I've been on the TERS for a while. It's good to see Mayor Denise Parker is actually appointed by you, Mayor. Thank you very much. So we are appointed by the mayor, and as Ian mentioned earlier about trying to think of the TERS as a subsidiary, it is important to understand that it is a tool of the city, right? It's created by state policy, but the city or local jurisdiction for creating these TERS to assist with development within the zone. So what announced that on the 19th of this month, August 19th, at 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., we are hosting a community meeting at KIP Explore. So they're on Mondale. So that's where we'll be to talk further about this, get your input. I mentioned I was appointed with Mayor Parker when she was in office. So I did vote on the original plan. It's the plan that we love as a TERS. We do have a different mayor, right, as of January 1st, 2024. So I would encourage you, right, make your voices heard to not only contact these different entities that are on here, but contact our mayor as well if you want to make your voice heard. One of the things that I've learned in my time here as a Houstonian is that we have a type of government called the strong mayor system, right? We don't have a council city manager system. We have the other form of city government. So please, we're virtually, you're definitely your rights as a constituent to contact the mayor on this. Do encourage you to come on August 19th. We all want the best, for our community. I live just on the other side of Harrisburg in the second ward, but part of the East End. There are neighbors here in Eastwood. I go down telephone constantly. I understand that it needs to be improved. And again, we that original plan passed unanimously by the TERS board back in 2022-23 timeframe. And so we want to do the best we can and move forward on this. So definitely do join us on August 19th. Again, it's going to start at 6 p.m. Right? This meeting starts at 6:30 here,
Yep.
But we're starting at 6 p.m. on August 19th at KIP Explorer.
All right.
I've had trouble with that info at TERS email address. Is there another one?
Someone else mentioned that to me too, that contacted us recently. Mr. Allender is our TERS administrator, so that's something that we can look into. Thanks for raising that.
Yeah, so you haven't been able to work, it hasn't worked though?
That's correct.
Someone else told me
It
that.
bounced.
It bounced to
back.
me too.
Okay, that's not good. Okay, so I'm cheating here because Kyle knows my address, but for everybody else, just email me direct. Okay, so it's going to be T Allender, TALLENDER at Haweshill, HAWESHILL.com. Okay, so that way we're cheating. We'll just get around the whole thing. That way we can.
I got it.
You can get straight to me and then I'll give information on it.
We'll send it out too.
Yes.
And we'll look into correcting.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why that's not working, but actually I have a suspicion. We'll get that fixed.
I can send you the error if you want, if that is
Oh,
helpful.
no, we'll just get it fixed. We'll just get it fixed. Tomorrow, it'll be fixed. Okay, maybe 2 days. It'll be fixed. But in the interim, if anybody does, talk to Kyle, he and I talk. So we're good. So.
Thank you.
All right, so I know that there's I just want to share this really quick. Some people don't like to email their council member, I'm gonna just say the phone number really quick. To contact District I, it's 832-393-3011. I know some people like to call, it's fine with me, just making it accessible. Everybody got that number? Feel good? Okay, I saw Paul with a question. Do you wanna?
What's the length of this?
3,000 linear feet is our section.
What's
So basically, here in Lockwood's along there. Correct. And then do bear in mind that there's 2 other sections to this, and I know the representative from Congresswoman Secretary stepped out, but from Longdale on to the loop, and then from the loop beyond, as are the other 2 sections. And you may have heard, so there is federal funds as a raise grant for the section that's from Longdale to the loop. So that's the other thing to bear in mind. That's another factor, that making sure that these three sections will seamlessly, meld into each other.
There's a question in the back.
A raise grant, I'm not too familiar, but the raise grant is not our section of it, and like by ours, I mean the TERS. Right, the section that's Rockville to Lawndale. Yeah, I just bring that up because that's, I know several of us in the community are aware about that raise grant. That's the section that starts at Lawndale and goes to the loop.
What he has showed us in diagrams and how we.
I mean, I think the idea would be that the whole, Indian Township, it's a very long road, right? The idea that they would all be one beautiful design, One big beautiful design. So, yes, but as far as like funding for the raise grant. So what Lockwood to Lawndale, that section, right, so that's coming from TERS funds, which is, it's public dollars, right, it's local, right, specifically also from a bond. And we're gonna explain more of all that on the 19th, and then also from the council member's office. So there's no federal funds in this section. No federal funds in this section. There was a question right there, not coming to you, Claire. Yes, ma'am.
Is there any consideration for, like, as a biker, as I go out around this area, I live around, is there any consideration for lightning, or are we kind of setting the expectation that bikers are sharing the sidewalk?
Right, I understand it's to be shared, right, which there was an original plan that included bike lanes, again, that passed unanimously. 2024, we have a different administration, there's different guidelines, so that's right, the new design reflects that. But the idea is that it would be shared with walkers, pedestrians.
So we got Clay, and we got one over here.
Just in terms of what folks would expect on the 19th, in terms of what the church is planning to present, is it kind of an overview of the design? Or is it more of like a listening session or a design stretch?
So we do want to share, it's an overview, because we do want to share what, what this process has been, but there are going to be like, if you will, like charrettes, if you will. We do want to get input and try to do that within that time frame, right? Just to be respectful of this time, there's can only go on for a certain amount, right? But we do want to get input as well as inform, where this whole process, right? Again, I want to emphasize the original plan, was something that, passed unanimously, so.
One more.
So I understand the original plan was for 2022, 23. Now this is the one that's going to be worked on, the one that's on the screen right now. That's the one that's going to be moving forward? Or is it gonna be like a combination of both?
This is the current plan has been approved by the city,
Okay.
right? Telephone road is city right away, right? None of us can go out there and start, digging up and, right? So that is the current plan that's been approved. There may be some room to finesse, and we'll see, but this is the plan that's been approved by the city.
Right, but the reason I asked that is the whole presentation, from what I understood, was to kind of maybe emphasize how this is not the best plan, and it's better to have that minute turning lane. So with this meeting on the 19th, would it be a possibility for the community to also share their input to see if this could then be adjusted?
Yes, we welcome input, and again, just as Ian mentioned, advocate. Again, bottom line is that the city will approve the plan. This is the plan that's been approved. I don't want to raise any expectations, that, what Ian presented is possible, but I'm not going to tell you this not to advocate for what you want.
Well, if I say one thing real fast, I'll take it. So we had invited, the church board, and I'm so that we're very glad that both, and Tony, we're able to make it tonight. But this was, I was hoping to share some of these concerns with them. We did not coordinate on this, and I think they did not know that we had to do the Q and A. So as they speak, we're talking about have somebody else do the Q and A. But I did want to emphasize that this is my concerns as a civil engineer and my proposed solutions as a civil engineer. I'm not saying that they're politically feasible, but I think anything's politically feasible if there's enough voices for them. And so that's what we all have here. We all have voices. That's the best we can do.
We have one more from
Thanks.
Paul, and then that's it.
Well, say, city. City council or who would you see? Who this per se? Planning, who, what entity,
I mean, essentially,
what entities?
I mean, public works, but again, I mean, you know, I mentioned what type is going now, right? And so that's, right.
I mean,
Right. Right.
I'm just asking, I don't know who either voted upon the public works or council members and mayor's office, I don't know.
So just very quickly from that standpoint, so, you know, the administration has decided it wants a new design standard. Bottom line. And so it's applying the new design standard. So one thing I will say, and regardless of, you know, and I appreciate all the work Ian has done, you know, he's done a great job. The whole concept is to open the topic for discussion, right? So we keep that idea open. One thing I want to caution everybody about is if it's going to be 4 lanes, I'm going to be very candid. There's a very strong possibility it's going to be 4 lanes. So the question then becomes, if it's going to be 4 lanes, how do we make it as safe as possible? Okay, so I want to make sure that we all go into this saying, okay, 3 lane, yeah, that would be awesome. But if it's not, then how do we work with what we have? Right? Well, we always have to work with both sides. We should always be thinking both ways. And I say that with, you know, somebody who absolutely loves what we say. Okay? So we want to be able to understand that, yes, advocate for what you want. If you're not able to get 3 lanes though, what can you work with? Okay? So again, just being very candid about it. So.
If I can ask a question.
Oh, absolutely.
Is there another option where it has to be 4 lanes, then the private, Eastwood show? And what would that look like? You know, if person do something like that.
Yeah, so, and I don't want to answer too many things because we're gonna bleed into what we're gonna be doing at the next meeting. I mean, is there a possibility that it could get shelved? Yeah, there's always a possibility. So, again, cautionary statement. Because the other thing we have to remember is when do we get another chance? So that's the other thing we have to be thinking about. So, and again, I'm not saying everybody should be excited about the idea of 4 lanes. No, I'm not gonna tell you what my position was. So you can probably figure it out. But the point of the matter is, this is what we have to work with. Can I work within that and make this safe? And yeah, you probably can. Is it gonna be the thing I'm most excited about? Gonna leave that off the list. But, you know, again, to Ian's question, you know, is there a possibility that we do absolutely nothing? That's a possibility. Is it the thing that I would suggest you want to do? I'll leave that up to you. So, and that's where I better shut up.
Yes, we do have, we only have a few minutes, I say a few minutes left. Are you willing to stay back and answer questions just for people?
Oh,
who-
yeah.
Okay,
Can I go to the restroom first?
yes.
Oh. The original plan was approved 2023 or whatever that plan was. This recent plan was approved recently, sometime maybe this year, I'm not sure, regardless of that. So the city council, I suppose, voted on it and then more recently approved this. Is that true or untrue?
So I will answer that after the meeting so that we can
Yeah.
save time.
Yeah, because we do have 20 minutes left and we have kind of a lot to go through afterwards.
I'm going to the bath.
Okay,
Can we get her question or not?
really,
And for you, they're like your. Between this and Folks Reach and the trains, it feels like we're fighting a million battles. You know. Do we need to at some point, like, how do we pick a battle? Do we like, are we just writing to bid? Like, I don't know how we balance all this with the community to make sure we're getting the paid.
So this is Bo Friday, it's just Bo Friday, second ward resident. Let's see. I mean, yes, because you can only do so much, right? We can only do so much, and depending how much people power we get behind us, right? We can share the load and focus on things. But, right, there's a lot coming out. It just depends how much we can organize ourselves and see, but I would definitely prioritize. Right,
And it feels like my priority is we're getting dumped on. Across the board.
right.
So that's been a consistent message it's a consistent message that I have shared with city leaders, with elected officials, with everybody, that we are having one project after another shoved down on us without any input. That I have requested any new projects coming in here needs to have community engagement before they're finalized. We've been able to get success on this in some areas. We're gonna go through like the rails feasibility study, but like that, we had it built into the grant that you have to have community engagement before anything can move forward. And that's just something I've been consistently sharing with Joaquin, with everybody as much as I can, that it's just one after another, and I literally have them all listed out. So the message is not lost, and there's other factors at play. Like there's gonna be another 45 project between downtown and the Beltway that's coming in that we're going to be announcing. So you've got the 45 realignment project, you've got Polk Street, you've got this one being reviewed, there's a lot going on. And that's part of the reason the mobility committee exists, is you're trying to collect all this information to share that with you, because an educated community is stronger together. So that's what we're trying to do. So.
Just the design phase, we can say, forgot about it.
The good thing about this even if you do have the opportunity to work with that's just training. So you get your potentially physically provide sidewalk if you've got middle lane, and then you get the two on the side and then 8 feet bike lane on either side. So really, you still get two wide curves, two wide sidewalks.
Right, well, that isn't possible.
So optimism with that curve being set. With the wide sidewalks, you still your trees and maybe then more for this. And then you get the knowledge by this further than third. So there's no.
Right, you're absolutely right on that point.
Cool. So I'm sorry, y'all, I do have to cut y'all off because we can get in trouble if we are here longer than our time. So I'm gonna move back here because there are a couple of updates that I do want to share. But before I promised Alejandra I would give her just a second. So I'm gonna have to give you only like 2 minutes though. So do you want to say hello to the group?
Thank you so much, Lindsay. Hi, everyone. My name is Alejandra Salinas, and I'm going to be on your ballot this November. I'm running for city council at large. You all may have heard that the former recently resigned. There's going to be a special election for her seat. To tell you a little bit about myself, I'm a former field organizer, and for the past 9 years, I've been a trial lawyer and partner at Sussman Godfrey. You may have heard of Sussman Godfrey. We're the law firm that took on Donald Trump and beat him in court a few weeks ago for an unlawful executive order, and we're not suing him to prevent him from issuing any more executive orders against law firms. I was proud to represent Lena Hidalgo and Tanisha Hudspeth and others when Republicans tried to invalidate their election. We fought back, and I've represented students who are being unlawfully discriminated against, and I'm knowing I speak for the length of your hair. I tell you all this to say that I know how to fight, and I'm running for city council because I'm going to take that fight to City Hall. It is not right. There are parts of the city that have been too long ignored by our city government. The streets are not being paved, the garbage is not being picked up, and their infrastructure is not being supported. I want to fight to ensure that all Houstonians, no matter who they are, no matter where they come from, deserve world-class city services. My focus is simple, reliable, and affordable city services, a strong infrastructure, and safer neighborhood. My name is Alejandra Salinas. I hope I can count on your support this November. Thank you so much.
Are you willing to stay behind if people want to talk to you after? Okay, so she'll stick around and listen in, and then if y'all want to talk to her after, I know that Clay and I had a good conversation with her last week. Okay, so I do need to move into the Cape Center. This is our Cape Center. Whoops, this is telephone note if you want to do that, but I think everybody did that. Sorry about that. So, and then Everett added a couple things here. We'll come back to this in just a second. So the Cape Center, as many of y'all know, has been purchased by Houston Police. And it will be the new South Central Station, which currently exists on St. Emmanuel. And it's going to be lovely to have both the fire station and the police station in our neighborhood. We are so grateful for that. However, what this means is that the Cape Center is going to undergo a major renovation project starting in January 2026. It's just a few months away. And they have to reconfigure the whole thing in order to meet their own safety guidelines. So we are no longer going to have an auditorium, but we are going to have a room that we can meet whenever they're open back up. I have received assurances from HPD that they will continue to allow the community to meet at the Cape Center, but it's going to be a new room that has not been built yet on the backside. So there's going to be a new parking lot, a new entryway, because this one's going to be specific to police only, and their cars are going to be kept up here. So what this means for you is that temporarily we are looking for a new location to meet for our monthly meetings. Some of the places we're looking at, Ironworks has a lovely facility in the back of their building that we're working out some interest, like figuring out what we can do with that. There's Knights of Columbus, there's the Magnolia Multi-Service Center. There's lots of different opportunities. So we are planning this. The board is actively looking into this. We kind of had an inkling this may come up this year. So we're doing what we can to get ahead of this so that we are all ready for our first meeting in 2027, which will be in February. So just making sure everybody knows. I'm going to repeat this again, but just keeping y'all updated on what is going on. So coming back really quick, we do have the Flores Library calendar of events. I don't know if y'all want to take a picture of that, but we do want to make sure we are supporting our libraries because right now funding is always up for grabs. Everybody's cutting everywhere that they can. We don't want to see that happen to our libraries. So if you could just make sure I see thumbs up. We'll post this online too.
It is already.
Yeah, it's online too. So if you didn't get in here, we'll be good to go there. We don't have every committee update, but we do have some. I know Kyle had a quick committee update. I don't know if you want to share that or you want me to, but. Oh.
I'll try. Okay, I'll try and get this done in 2 minutes or less. Okay, so I have a great and wonderful announcement for everyone here. Our nonprofit status has been reinstated. There's a long story that goes in the background of this, the history. I'll just be quick about it. So in 1912, the internet started getting the 1913, they started selling houses. 1979, and I'm gathering all this stuff from old newsletters and basically documents that I have in our archive somewhere. In 1979, that was when the Eastwood Civic Association first met in the Christ the Redeemer Church in November '79. They met for a couple of years, and then in '81 they decided to become file for state nonprofit recognition. In '82 it was accepted, and then everything was going great until 2008 Bush administration. During that time, the federal government changed their nonprofit laws. Basically, starting in 2009, everybody had to file taxes for a nonprofit of any size, and we are very small. So we did not get that memo. So, after 3 years of not filing taxes, in 2012, we lost our IRS nonprofit status. In 2024, that's last year, we started the process to get recognized again. It was a long and winding road, but we have done it. It has been accepted in June 2025.
And our taxes are filed. I do just want to say thank you to Kyle. He did spearhead this, you know, we did the best I can to support him, but he was definitely the driver on this one. And also, for what it's worth, our taxes are filed for this year. So we're back in good standing. So thank you again. I just wanted to say that. Make sure you give Kyle a round of applause for all of that.
My individual thank yous. There's some people that may not be here, but some are, that I would like to give some individual thank yous for. That is the board of this organization from 2024 and 2025 specifically for supporting me in doing this. Our past president, Danielle LaPerriere, our current president, Lindsay Williams, Aaron, for making sure I did it the correct way. Hulani for giving me the financial information. Our way 10 years ago, former secretary, whose name is Chris Wright. I called him out of the blue and he gave me a bunch of documents. Our former vice president, Anthony Patola, he also had a giant box of documents that he gave me. And and Ann McKenzie, who's not here, but she really helped with the filing. So thank you so much to those people. I very much appreciate it.
Cool, thank you.
All right, so I do like to give, I heard feedback from somebody. Oh, sorry, is there a question?
I have a correction. The original meeting place was the Church of Redeemer Episcopal over here on Telephone Road, to where Telephone meets McKinney, next to next to Lancaster Elementary. The Church of Redeemer.
Yeah.
What did I say?
You said Christ the Redeemer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. We got it. So I got feedback that people do like to see the numbers on the trains. If you're interested in seeing them, I'm not gonna go through every single number. I think the big thing to note is that the number of trains per month is increasing about 10%. That is on the line that runs parallel to Harrisburg. I have sent this to the railroad and said, hey, what's up? Because we already saw a lot of trains on that line. We're seeing even more. Union Pacific has announced a merger with Norfolk Southern. So we are trying to get on top of that to make sure that we have the hearings in place so that we're taking into account a lot of our information. But you can see how many hours Paulette, I don't know if y'all know Paulette, she's amazing. We literally tag team this where we watch that surveillance camera and we document the number of trains every time they start, every time they stop. And she sends me a picture of her little notebook and we put it into this spreadsheet so that we can share with everybody. It is a painstaking effort, but it is worth it because now we have data back from 2021 that shows the severity of the issue, the ups and downs. We know things now, like in February, there's going to be storms up in the north. So we get impacted down here in the south. But there's just lots of different information here. Like I said, I'm not going to blast every single number to you, but if you're curious about it, I'm always happy to share this with you. And down at the bottom, this is year to year. You can see what this looks like. We are seeing a hefty increase in the number of trains per month, which is a lot more than what we had ever seen. And also they're getting longer. I know that we listened to the Union Pacific shareholder calls and they brag every single month that they're getting at least 10% longer every single month. So we're starting to see, 3.5 mile trains coming through the Houston complex, which is massive. And just for some context of what that looks like, it is 4 miles from downtown to the loop. So if they stop, that is like almost all the way through the loop. So just understanding the significance of this. I know that there's a lot of stuff going on with the railroad operations. I'm always happy to talk trains with y'all. There's a lot of reasons that these stop. So just making sure you're aware. I take regular surveys at the super neighborhood. This is constantly reported as the highest issue in the neighborhood is the freight trains. There was a couple legislative updates. Carol Alvarado did get $250 million to get grade separation projects. There's no update about where these projects are. So just letting you know, it's out there, but the locations are to be determined. We do have the East End Rail Study, and this is the one that I say impacts Eastwood. It's on the triangle. And the whole idea is just to do a feasibility study of all of the at-grade crossings to understand what is possible, and then take that to the community to get feedback about where the community wants to see this kind of relief. So that is coming out, supposed to be in Q1 26. We're supposed to see some community engagement along with studies and information. Again, that's kind of what we were coming back to before. We're trying to get ahead of it so that we can, what did Amanda Edwards say? You don't have a seat at the table, you're on the menu. I'm trying to keep us off the menu as best as possible. Union Pacific is working with the city of Houston to get those quiet zones implemented along the Galveston subdivision. The last time I talked to Joaquin, he said it was about a year out. That's normal. So it is in progress. They are actively working on it. So hopefully
people in that area will sleep just a smidge better at night. And then also Clay and I and Amy Erickson, she's on the Zoom. We attended a road and rail safety conference with Chicago's CREATE. Don't make me say what that acronym means. I don't know. I should probably have looked it up, but I didn't. And as well as the Gulf Coast Rail District with TxDOT, with a lot of different officials. And we spent 2 days learning about how Chicago is effective at finding solution with their at-grade crossings. In addition, we have a pledge signed by the Easton District, by our mayor, by our elected officials, that they are going to help solve the complex issues that we see with the freight trains in the Houston complex. So we have that pledge now. We're all starting to work together. It was a wonderful conversation. And just as a side note, it is really cool that Clay and Amy and I were like the only residents that were able to attend this meeting. It was filled with a lot of elected officials, a lot of engineers. So it was really kind of humbling to be asked to be joined this meeting. And I do want to share this, something again, just trying to make sure this is ahead of you. Houston Galveston Area Council plans for like the entire region. And they put out their regional transportation plan that they're looking for feedback on. And so I want to highly encourage you to scan this and put in your feedback, because again, we want to make sure that we are a part of this conversation. We want to make sure that they know what you're traveling by, where you're from, the concerns you have about transportation, because this is how we get a part of the conversation. And so I'm just doing the best that I can to share this out. We'll also share this on socials. I've shared it at every opportunity, so please it takes a couple minutes, but please do it, because it does give the HGAC a lot of options and a lot of visibility into the East End. And that's what we really want, because we haven't had a lot of that previously. So if we can get that now, it's only going to help us in the future. And make sure everybody's got it.
This is where the QR code in Ian's presentation takes you to this HVAC.
This one's going to take you to the HVAC survey.
The other one does too.
Oh. All right, we'll send out the right ones. Thank you for sharing. So this one, yes. So we'll be sure. Well, you did both. You did both. That's great. But we'll make sure we get the right one out. Should have checked. There was a lot of last minute conversations. All right, we got it. Thank you, Erin, for telling me. Okay, so just a couple things. There are some upcoming events that you should know about. Carol Alvarado is holding an East End State of the District on August 23rd from 12 to 2. You do need to RSVP to go. We can send that out via socials if you don't have it now. And then TxDOT doesn't do a lot of cute flyers for their events, so I just kind of put this in here. This is the Gulf Freeway project from 59 to the Beltway. They are holding a virtual stakeholder meeting on August 28th, 9:30 to 11 via Teams. I apologize about the time. Y'all know how these things work. We'll share this out via socials as well, but this is just another way we want to make sure that you are involved in these processes, hear about what's going on, and are able to just do what you can to share your feedback. I have no idea. I was like vaguely aware that there was a project going on about this. And that's the most that I know right now, is that there's something going on. No, I'm working on it. Okay, so just a couple of upcoming meetings if you're interested. South Central PIP, Harrisburg TERS, if you want to go, is August 25th. East End District Board meeting, if that's something that you're interested, is August 28th. Our next meeting here is on September 8th. Usually it's the first Monday. We're giving y'all a break on Labor Day, so it's just the second Monday this month, or in September. So if y'all want to come on out, we'll be there, good to go. And then of course, that's it, we did it. Uh-oh. Oh, we have a beautification update. Yeah, sure. Come on.
Hi, everybody. We have a beautiful slide with pictures in it, but I don't think it got activated in our program today. But a quick note on beautification. First off, I'm glad to have new friends at the Lantra PTO for Sparkle Days. I'm going to steal that language. I think that's awesome. Beautification is something that everybody can get behind, and I'm glad to hear that there's so much appetite for trees in the neighborhood. On that note, we hoped this month to have a good update for you in that HEB has a community grant of up to $5,000 to be able to plant trees in neighborhoods. ECA was a co-applicant with a local nonprofit to help plant up to 35 trees. It's a $5,000 grant application. They had hoped to have the announcement about this time, but in July, HEB ended up putting a lot of their nonprofit resources into the Kerrville flooding, which we commend them for. But it means that the same people who were helping with the flooding didn't have time to read the grant application. So that's why we don't have an update as to whether or not we received that grant, but we're hoping for the best. I did want to mention tomorrow at Bohemios at 6, between 6 and 6:30. We're going to have an opportunity for anyone to meet at Bohemios if you want to talk about brainstorming ideas for projects that you might want to see beautification stuff in the East End. So look for me in the back patio area. We are just trying to brainstorm for ideas later in the year on things that you can have, flower beds, trees, areas that could use some sprucing. So if you're interested, please see us. And if you have an idea that you can't make that meeting, send us an email, vicepresident@eastwoodcivicassociation.com. You can send an idea, or you can send your interest if you want to be able to volunteer. Thank you.
Right here.
I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna speak for.
Cool.
Just a quick reminder, we're looking about 2,000 annual. It's our only and largest fundraiser for the ECA, so if it doesn't be event, helps us do wonderful programs and events for families in the community. So it's October 18th and 19th, we finalized our homes, but we are still looking for sponsorship, so you can visit the ECA website, navigate to the home tour page for information about sponsorship, and then we will be very soon sending out kind of mass calls for volunteers. Throughout the weekend, we typically need like, I don't know, about 80 volunteers, and so we lean on you guys in the community to help us pull it off. So, our, you know, on the website too, how you can contact your questions.
All right, cool. So thank everybody for attending. My intention today was for everybody to feel informed, heard, and empowered after leaving today's meeting. And I hope everybody also feels energized about our community. And I call this meeting adjourned. Thank you.
No.